Mere days since the fires ripped through portions of the state, blackened grass and charred vehicles serve as a painful reminder of all that unfolded on March 14th. Beth Schmidt is having a hard time looking back.
It was horrifying. It was scary. The scariest thing in my life.
She lives in Cleveland and was right in the path of devastating flames that made their way into her community. Beth and her family were watching smoke billow in the distance all day Friday. But in just a 30-second period of Beth going inside her home, she says things changed rapidly.
And I went back on the porch and I felt this heat, but it was different heat. It wasn't like weather heat. It was like, I was like, what is that? Why is it so hot?
Of course, it was from the flames that had made their way into her backyard. Panic ensued as Beth and her husband tried to get all of their animals and children into the car and away from the fires.
Terrifying. Like, I don't know how I'm alive. Literally, I'm going to start crying because it's just trying to talk about it is bringing back memories.
Because she was surrounded by flames as she evacuated, Schmidt tells me she had very little faith that her home would still be standing when she returned. So you can imagine her surprise as she turned down her street, surrounded by rubble and debris, and found her home still standing strong. Beth believes God had his hand on them, but so did their neighbors.
There was nothing they could do for their houses. Mine was still standing. And so they were taking water out of my duck pond and putting my porch out, and they saved my house.
Aside from Beth's and one other, all of the homes on her street have been turned to ash. While she is struggling with survivor's guilt, Beth tells me she's using her good fortune to support her neighbors however she can.
We're not just a community anymore. We're a family. This is a family. And we will forever be intertwined because you can't live through something like this and not.
In Cleveland, Steph Manchin, 2 News, Oklahoma.